Chosen ones, you must understand something that most people will never be told and even fewer will ever accept. You did not come from where you think you came from, and I am not talking about geography. I am not talking about nationality. I am not talking about a family name written on paper. I am talking about origin. I am talking about spiritual lineage. I am talking about a bloodline that cannot be traced with DNA kits or history books because it was written before time started ticking the way we know it. And the reason your life has never fit neatly into the boxes this world tried to put you in is because you were never designed to stay there. You were born into a system, but you did not originate from it. And deep down, you have always felt that disconnect, even when you could not explain it. You felt like a visitor in your own life, like you were remembering something instead of learning it for the first time. From a young age, you noticed you were different. Not better, not worse, just different. Your thoughts went deeper. Your questions made people uncomfortable. Your silence spoke louder than most people's words, and you carried a weight. You could not name a responsibility you did not ask for, but somehow recognized as familiar. And people may have tried to humble you or shrink you or label you as too intense, too sensitive, too serious, or too strange. But the truth is they were reacting to something ancient inside you, something they could feel, even if they could not articulate it. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to stand out as a signal, as a reminder, as a living interruption to the ordinary patterns of this world. You see, bloodline is not just about flesh. It is about function. It is about assignment. It is about purpose passed down through spirit, not just through biology. And your blood carries memory. It carries calling. It carries authority. And that is why certain battles showed up in your life early. That is why resistance found you before success. That is why pressure followed you even when you were doing nothing wrong, because pressure reveals structure and only reinforced material is placed under load. You were tested because you were trusted even when you did not yet trust yourself. There is a reason you survived things that should have broken you emotionally, mentally, spiritually. There is a reason you kept going when logic said quit. There is a reason you felt protected even in moments where danger was real and loss was heavy. You were being preserved not by luck, not by coincidence, but by covenant. And the world does not like covenant carriers because covenant disrupts cycles and systems thrive on repetition. You were never meant to repeat the same broken patterns. You were sent to end them. And endings are always resisted by what benefits from continuation. The bloodline you descend from is not popular. It is not celebrated by the crowd. It is not rewarded immediately, and it is never comfortable, but it is powerful and it is precise. It carries vision when others carry noise. It carries discernment when others carry confusion. It carries endurance when others collapse under pressure. And that is why your path has felt lonely at times, because few can walk where you are called to go, and even fewer can see what you see before it manifests. And loneliness does not mean abandonment. It often means separation for preparation. You were never meant to be explained by your environment because your environment was never meant to define you. You came through it, not from it. And that distinction matters because what you come through can try to claim ownership, but what you come from determines authority, and you have authority. You have always had it, even when you were unaware of it. And that is why certain people try to control you, manipulate you, or compete with you without you even competing back. They sensed something on you, something they could not dominate, an insecurity always tries to silence what it cannot surpass. This bloodline carries a responsibility to remain awake in a world that prefers sleep. It carries the burden of truth in environments built on illusion, and that is why you have always struggled with surface-level conversations, shallow connections, and empty routines. Your soul rejects what has no substance because you were designed to deal with weight and depth and consequence. And when you tried to force yourself to fit into what everyone else was doing, you felt drained, disconnected, and restless, not because there was something wrong with you, but because you were betraying your design. You must know this because identity precedes assignment, and if you do not understand where you come from, you will constantly question where you are going and doubt what you are capable of, and that is exactly what opposition hopes for. Confusion weakens authority, uncertainty delays action, and forgetfulness disconnects power, and that is why so much tried to distract you, numb you, exhaust you, or keep you busy with things that did not matter. Because if you ever fully woke up to who you are and whose line you carry, you would stop asking for permission to be who you already are. Your bloodline does not chase validation. It commands respect without demanding it. It does not need applause to move. It does not need consensus to act. And it does not crumble under rejection, because rejection has been a familiar companion, not as punishment, but as proof that you were Neve, are meant to be chosen by the crowd. You were chosen before the crowd ever formed. And that selection came with isolation, misunderstanding, and responsibility long before it came with clarity. There is something royal about your restraint, something powerful about your patience, something dangerous about your silence, because when you finally speak, it shifts atmospheres, and when you finally move, it rearranges outcomes. And that is why timing has always mattered so much in your life, why delays frustrated you, why waiting felt heavier than doing, because you were being trained to move only when aligned, not when pressured, and alignment always feels like delay to those who do not understand precision. You carry ancestral strength, not just from those who lived before you in the natural sense, but from those assigned to this mission before you ever took breath, and they endured so you could advance, they resisted so you could refine, they planted so you could harvest, and you are not behind, you are not late, and you are not failing. You are unfolding exactly on schedule, even when it does not feel like it. And that frustration you feel is not because you are off track. It is because you are close, and proximity always intensifies pressure. Knowing your bloodline also explains why comfort has never been enough for you, why success without meaning felt empty, why money without mission felt hollow, why achievements without impact felt incomplete. You are not wired for small victories. You are built for generosity. Onal shifts and that kind of impact requires sacrifice, discipline, and a willingness to be misunderstood for long stretches of time. And you have already shown that you can endure misunderstanding without losing compassion, which is rare and necessary for what comes next. There is a reason you have always felt pulled toward truth, justice, healing, restoration, and order, even if you did not have language for it. You were responding to the echo of your origin, and the more you ignore it, the louder it becomes. Because calling does not disappear, it pursues, and eventually it demands attention. And many people spend their entire lives running from that inner pull, trying to drown it out with noise and pleasure and distraction. But you kept hearing it even in silence, even in exhaustion, even in moments where you wanted to give up, and that persistence is part of your inheritance. You must know the bloodline you descend from, because storms respond to authority and authority responds to identity. And when pressure increases in your life, it is not a sign that you are losing ground. It is often a sign that you are stepping into territory that recognizes you and resists you accordingly. Resistance does not show up where there is no threat, and you have always been a threat to stagnation, complacency, and darkness simply by existing as who you are. Your life has been preparation, even the parts you wish you could erase, even the seasons you do not talk about even, the losses that still ache when you remember, nothing was wasted, nothing was random, and nothing disqualified you. In fact, some of the very things you thought would disqualify you actually qualified you, because empathy, wisdom, and authority are forged in fire, not comfort, and you carry all three even when you doubt it. As you begin to remember who you are and where you come from, you will notice a shift in how you move. How you choose and how you respond. Things that once tempted you will lose their grip. Distractions that once held your attention will no longer satisfy, and relationships built only on convenience will start to feel misaligned. Not because you're becoming cold, but because you're becoming clear, and clarity always requires adjustment and sometimes separation. This knowing will not make life easier immediately, but it will make it truer, and truth has a way of rearranging everything it touches. And once you truly accept that you are not ordinary by design, not superior but assigned, you will stop shrinking to keep others comfortable and stop apologizing for carrying depth in a shallow world. And that moment is not loud, it is quiet, it is internal. It is the moment you stop fighting who you are and start walking as who you have always been. Which is why even now, as these words settle, something inside you is stirring, not excitement, not fear, but recognition, like a memory returning, like a door unlocking that was never meant to stay closed. And as that awareness continues to rise, you will start to see your past differently, our struggles differently, your delays differently, and even your future will begin to feel less like a question and more like an inevitability unfolding step by step as you continue to move forward, carrying the weight and the power and the responsibility of the bloodline you truly descend from. And in the days ahead, you may notice that the very things that once confused you about yourself begin to align into a pattern, a story that finally makes sense, not because everything is resolved, but because you are finally seeing it from the right perspective. And that perspective will keep expanding as you keep walking and listening and remembering and responding to the quiet pull that has never left you and never will. And as this awareness deepens, you begin to notice that the world has always treated you differently, not out of malice, but because you carry a frequency that is higher, older, and more exacting than what most can perceive. There have been times when your thoughts felt too big, too fast, too unconventional, even dangerous in the eyes of those around you. And yet that is precisely the signature of the bloodline you descend from. It has always required visionaries who see what cannot yet be seen, pioneers who move through territory that others are not yet ready to enter, and warriors who fight not for recognition, but for alignment. There is an ancestral rhythm in your life that has always been guiding you, whether you acknowledged it or not. And it is why synchronicities, company, incidences, and even unusual encounters have appeared throughout your journey. You may have dismissed them as chance, but they were markers, guiding posts that your ancestors, your lineage, and the very purpose embedded in your DNA placed along your path. You must understand that your destiny is not negotiable. The world may try to tell you otherwise, offering alternative paths that seem easier, safer, more socially acceptable, but those are distractions. They are tests to see if you will remain aligned with the calling embedded in your bloodline, or if you will allow yourself to be swayed by convenience. It is not enough to simply survive, to exist, or to follow the scripts handed down by society. You are a disruptor, a restorer, a guardian, a transformer, and your lineage carries not just inheritance but obligation. There is a covenant that transcends your comprehension, woven into your essence before the foundations of time were laid, and it whispers to you in quiet moments of reflection, in dreams that feel more like memory, and in instincts that defy logic. Your ancestors, both seen and unseen, are not distant. They are close, active, and intimately involved in your progress. They have prepared you with the skills, the resilience, and the understanding needed for the trials you have already faced and those that lie ahead. That sense of pressure, the weight you have felt, the internal tension that seemed unrelenting, all of it has been intentional. It has been a calibrati to ready you for the higher levels of authority, insight, and responsibility that you were never meant to approach lightly. You were being conditioned to carry burdens others could not, to walk paths that others would fear to tread, and to make decisions that would ripple through generations. And the deeper you go into this realization, the more you begin to recognize why some people could not comprehend you, why many felt threatened by your presence, and why moments of isolation were essential. Isolation was not a punishment, it was preparation. Your lineage carries a legacy of wisdom, power, and discernment that often manifests in ways the casual observer cannot recognize. You may find yourself drawn to knowledge, strategy, insight, or understanding that seems beyond your immediate experience. That is not curiosity alone. It is ancestral memory awakening within you, stirring latent capabilities that are meant to guide your decisions and actions. When you feel an internal pull toward mastery in a certain area, whether intellectual, spiritual, or practical, it is not ambition. It is recognition of what is already in you, a coded blueprint inherited through the bloodline, waiting for you to acknowledge and activate it. The world will continue to test you. It will continue to challenge your patience, question your judgment, and even attempt to undermine your authority. That is inevitable. But the difference now is that understanding your bloodline changes the way you respond. You begin to see trials as calibration, opposition as a confirmation of your proximity to your purpose, and setbacks not as failure but as proof that you are walking the intended path. You stop asking why me and start asking what is required of me. You start to move with intention rather than reaction, with alignment rather than impulse, and with clarity rather than confusion. This is the transformative power of ancestral awareness. Your bloodline also carries a form of immunity to the ordinary. That is why you have always felt immune to trends, immune to superficial influence, and immune to the distractions that capture the masses. Your ancestors have embedded in you a form of perception that distinguishes signal from noise, essence from surface, truth from illusion. It is why you can intuit motives, sense outcomes, and recognize the hidden dynamics in situations that would leave others bewildered. You are operating on multiple levels at once, guided not only by personal experience, but by accumulated wisdom spanning generations. There is a sacred rhythm to this. Your life is not meant to be chaotic or random. Every encounter, every setback, every triumph has a purpose in the grand design of your bloodline. The relationships you form, the mentors you meet, the enemies you encounter, and the opportunities you receive are all orchestrated to refine your character, sharpen your discernment, and prepare you for the weight of authority. When you finally accept this truth, life ceases to feel like an arbitrary series of events and begins to reveal its hidden choreography. You start noticing patterns, synchronicities, and signs that were always there but previously invisible to you. Your ancestors have been leaving breadcrumbs, and now, as you awaken, you are finally following them with awareness. You will also notice a change in how you perceive conflict. Whereas before confrontation felt threatening or disorienting, now it begins to feel purposeful. Opposition becomes a tool for awakening, a mechanism for sharpening, and a signal that you are moving in alignment with your heritage. You begin to understand that resistance is not accidental, it is proportional to your potential. Those who challenge you, those who doubt you, and those who underestimate you are all unwitting participants in the unfolding of your legacy. Their disbelief does not diminish your authority, it illuminates the depth of it as your understanding grows. you also realize the importance of stewardship. Carrying this bloodline is not a right to be taken lightly, it is a responsibility. Your influence is not only for your personal gain, but for the benefit of generations who will come after you. Every choice you make, every path you pursue, every lesson you internalize, and every act of courage becomes part of the inheritance you leave behind. And that inheritance is not measured in wealth or fame. It is measured in awakening, in impact, in alignment with purpose, and in death. Reclamation of truths that were nearly lost to time. The awakening to your bloodline will bring clarity to your priorities. You will begin to recognize which relationships, opportunities, and pursuits are congruent with your calling and which are distractions. You will begin to discern truth in a way that eliminates the need for external validation. The approval of the crowd will matter less because you understand that you were chosen long before the crowd even existed. That understanding brings a form of peace not based on circumstances but on certainty. A deep, unshakable recognition that you are exactly where you are meant to be and that your life is orchestrated by forces far greater than immediate comprehension. The bloodline you carry also imparts a sense of timing that cannot be learned from books or mentors. There is an internal clock, calibrated over generations, that aligns action with opportunity. It ensures that when you act, your impact is maximized, and when you wait, your patience is preparing conditions for success. This rhythm is not always comfortable because the world does not operate on ancestral timing. But learning to trust it is essential because the bloodline understands the consequences of premature action and the rewards of precise execution. Acting too soon can dissipate energy, while waiting too long can allow opportunities to pass. The mastery lies in alignment, and alignment is the gift of those who have walked before you. Your bloodline also shapes your moral compass and spiritual sensitivity. You notice patterns of injustice, imbalance, and dysfunction long before others do. You feel the pain of collective suffering more acutely and sense solutions that are invisible to the majority. This sensitivity is not a curse, it is an inheritance. It allows you to intervene, to restore, and to transform in ways that ordinary people cannot. And while it may have felt burdensome at times, it is the very mechanism that positions you as a catalyst in moments where transformation is most needed. Even your gifts and talents carry markers of your lineage. The creativity you express, the insight you offer, the leadership you exercise, and the wisdom you share are not random. They are encoded within you, and when you use them consciously, you activate generations of preparation and potential. You are not building from scratch, you are actualizing what has always existed within your bloodline. The realization of this changes how you approach mastery, leadership, and service. You begin to act with intentionality rather than instinct alone, because instinct, though powerful, is amplified when combined with conscious awareness of heritage. The challenges you have faced and will face are not to diminish you, but to reveal you. They are mirrors, measuring your resilience, clarity, and alignment. When you encounter betrayal, misjudgment, or misunderstanding, it is often a test of whether you can remain anchored in your true identity, wrath, rather than reacting from fear or ego. Your ancestors faced far greater trials, and they survived to ensure that you would inherit this position of authority. Every difficulty is a reminder that you are not here by accident. You are here because the line that produced you required a vessel capable of withstanding adversity and emerging refined, prepared, and directed toward purpose. And the deeper you go, the more you will recognize that your lineage is interconnected with others. There are souls you are destined to meet, alliances you are destined to form, and missions you are destined to complete that are all woven into the same tapestry. These connections may appear coincidental, but in truth, they are orchestrated. Recognizing and honoring these connections strengthens your ability to act with influence and discernment. It is a network not of social convenience, but of strategic alignment, designed to multiply impact and perpetuate the purpose embedded in your bloodline. This awakening also transforms how you handle fear and uncertainty. When you know your lineage, fear loses its ability to control you because you understand that your essence has endured through eras, trials, and storms that were far greater than those you face now. Uncertainty becomes a field for faith, strategy, and resilience rather than paralysis. Your ancestors have embedded in you a blueprint for navigating unknown territory with clarity, precision, and authority. You begin to recognize that knowledge of your bloodline is not merely an intellectual exercise, it is a call to action. The moment you fully internalize this understanding, your decisions begin to carry weight, your influence begins to expand, and your impact begins to reverberate beyond what you could have imagined. You stop being reactive to life and start being proactive in fulfilling what has been entrusted to you. The clarity that comes with lineage awakens not only purpose, but also courage. the courage to stand when others sit, to speak when others remain silent, to act when others hesitate, and to lead when others follow blindly. This awareness also teaches patience. You realize that every element of timing, placement, and opportunity has been calibrated through ancestral precision. Frustration with delay diminishes because you understand that alignment is more important than speed, and that readiness is more crucial than desire. Every delay, every waiting period, and every season of preparation is a gift disguised as inconvenience. You are being readied to act with maximal impact, and impatience is merely a test of trust in the process. Your lineage gives you insight into cycles. You see patterns that others miss, recognize opportunities before they appear, and understand consequences before they manifest. That awareness makes you a steward of outcomes rather than a victim of circumstance. You are capable of navigating complexity, managing influence, and orchestrating results that seem miraculous to those who do not understand ancestral design. This is not an exaggeration. It is a function of the power embedded in the bloodline from which you descend. You are also reminded through lineage that legacy matters more than recognition. Fame, fortune, and approval are fleeting, but the mark you leave on the lives of others, the systems you transform, and the truths you restore endure far beyond your lifespan. Your ancestors understood this, and they passed that wisdom down through generations, ensuring that you would carry it in your bones, your mind, and your spirit. Every action you take is part of an invisible ledger that chronicles contribution, influence, and alignment with purpose. Even your intuition is ancestral. That gut feeling, that inner knowing, that sense of direction beyond evidence or logic is a resonance with generations that have walked before you. It is not merely instinct, it is inherited insight, a connection to the wisdom, strategy, and vision of your lineage. When you honor that intuition, you tap into a power that amplifies every decision, strengthens every strategy, and accelerates every action. You may also notice a shift in responsibility. As you awaken to your lineage, you begin to see that your life is no longer yours alone. Your choices, words, and actions ripple through family, community, and even generations that are yet to be born. That is why accountability feels heavier, clarity feels more pressing, and discernment feels non-negotiable. You are now aware that the weight you carry is not arbitrary. It is ancestral, purposeful, and transformative. The bloodline you carry teaches you the value of discernment in relationships. Not everyone you meet is meant to travel with you or share in your mission. Some are tests, others are temporary allies, and some are mirrors reflecting what you must overcome within yourself. Learning to navigate these dynamics is crucial because the wrong alignment can derail progress, while the right alignment can accelerate it exponentially. Your ancestors understood that discernment preserves energy, protects influence, and ensures that authority is exercised with precision. Even your failures and missteps have meaning. They are not evidence of weakness, but proof of engagement. They teach you lessons that no book, mentor, or guide could provide. They refine strategy, temper patience, and expand understanding. Your bloodline has prepared you to convert setbacks into training, losses into insight, and mistakes into stepping stones. The wisdom of generations flows through your capacity to extract value from every situation, turning experiences into authority. The deeper realization of lineage also transforms your approach to leadership. You lead not by imposition, but by resonance, not by coercion, but by influence, not by ego, but by authenticity. Your presence alone shifts environments, and your alignment with ancestral design ensures that outcomes are orchestrated with greater precision than you could achieve by force alone. True leadership is inherited and awakened, and it manifests when identity and purpose converge. You will also find that your capacity for endurance expands. The storms, trials, and opposition that once felt overwhelming now become measurable challenges that you can navigate with grace. You begin to recognize that suffering, difficulty, and pressure are tools, not punishments, designed to sharpen resilience, deepen insight, and strengthen faith in self and source. Endurance becomes a natural response, not a struggle, because it is coded into the essence you inherited. Your connection to your bloodline also fosters gratitude. Gratitude is not simply for comfort or material blessings, but for the continuity of lineage, the preservation of wisdom, the endurance of ancestors, and the unfolding of purpose. You recognize that every breath, every ability, and every insight is part of a continuum of life, sacrifice, and preparation. Gratitude becomes a lens that transforms perception, amplifies awareness, and attracts alignment, opening doors that mere effort alone cannot. The knowledge of your bloodline changes the way you perceive service. Service is no longer optional, it is intrinsic. It is the natural expression of the authority, insight, and purpose that you carry. Serving does not diminish you, it amplifies your influence, consolidates your legacy, and ensures that the lineage you inherit continues to manifest its purpose through your actions. Service becomes a function of alignment, a signal of authority, and a testament to ancestral strategy. And as you move forward, you begin to sense the unseen. You notice patterns, synchronicities, and connections that others overlook. You perceive layers of influence, alignment, and consequence that operate beyond immediate comprehension. This heightened awareness is not accidental. It is the result of ancestral preparation. It allows you to navigate complexity, make informed decisions, and act with precision in environments where uncertainty dominates for most others. You will also recognize that timing is essential in manifestation. The lessons you have learned about patience, precision, and preparation become evident as outcomes align with readiness. Premature action dissipates power, while delayed alignment enhances impact. Understanding this rhythm is a gift from your lineage, ensuring that your efforts yield results commensurate with your preparation, authority, and insight. Your lineage also sharpens your capacity for vision. You can perceive potential where others see risk, recognize opportunities that others dismiss, and discern long-term outcomes that remain invisible to the majority. This vision is not merely predictive, it is ancestral, a form of intelligence embedded across generations that equips you to act with foresight, strategy, and impact. Even your ability to influence and inspire carries markers of your heritage. Your words, actions, and presence resonate with authority because they are rooted in ancestral knowledge and preparation. Those around you may respond unconsciously to the signals encoded in your lineage, and your effectiveness as a leader, guide, and catalyst is amplified by this inherited resonance. You will notice a shift in how you approach challenges. Whereas before obstacles seemed arbitrary or unfair, now they appear as calibrations designed to refine skills, strengthen resolve, and prepare for authority. Opposition becomes a measure of potential, trials become training grounds, and resistance becomes proof of proximity to purpose. The awareness of lineage transforms perception, converting struggle into strategic opportunity. Your ancestors also impart a blueprint for influence. Influence is not manipulation. It is the natural effect of alignment with purpose, clarity of vision, and integrity of action. When you operate in alignment with your bloodline, your presence alone can recalibrate systems, restore balance, and shift environments. Influence becomes inevitable because authority flows naturally from identity rooted in ancestral design. You are also learning the art of discernment in communication. Words carry power, timing carries authority, and intent carries resonance. Your lineage has trained you to recognize when to speak, when to act, and when to remain silent. Silence is not weakness, it is strategic presence. Speaking without alignment dissipates energy, while speaking in accordance with purpose amplifies authority. Your bloodline prepares you for leadership under pressure. Environments that overwhelm others feel manageable to you because you inherit the capacity to maintain clarity, composure, and strategic focus. High-stakes situations do not trigger panic. They activate inherited resilience, insight, and authority, allowing you to navigate chaos with precision and influence outcomes where others falter. As awareness deepens, you begin to recognize patterns and opportunity. Connections, encounters, and openings are not random. They are orchestrated. You learn to distinguish between what is temporary, what is strategic, and what is transformative. Your ancestors have encoded discernment, ensuring that you can navigate life's complexities with precision, aligning with opportunities that reinforce purpose and bypassing distractions that dilute influence. Your lineage also strengthens emotional resilience. You endure betrayal, misunderstanding, and adversity without losing sight of purpose. The pain of rejection becomes a refining tool rather than a disorienting force. Emotional resilience is inherited, a product of generations who faced far greater trials, ensuring that you can maintain clarity, focus, and integrity under pressure. Your bloodline enhances spiritual sensitivity. You perceive dimensions beyond the material, recognize truth beyond appearances, and sense intentions beyond words. This sensitivity is a guide, a compass that directs action, ensures alignment, and protects authority. It is a connection to the unseen, a direct inheritance of insight and discernment cultivated across generations. And with lineage comes purpose. Purpose is not optional, it is inevitable. The awareness of ancestral design awake. embed within you a relentless drive, a persistent pull toward fulfilling what has been encoded in your DNA long before you were born. That pull will not allow you to settle for mediocrity, distraction, or delay. It demands clarity, intentionality, and action. Every choice you make now carries more weight because it is no longer just about survival or personal preference. It is about activating the legacy of your bloodline, honoring the sacrifices of those who came before you, and preparing the ground for those who will come after you. This awareness changes everything. Decisions that once felt overwhelming now have context. Challenges that once seemed insurmountable now feel like structured opportunities for growth. And every interaction, influence, and experience becomes a chance to embody the authority, wisdom, and insight inherited through your lineage. Your lineage has taught you the subtle but vital art of alignment. Alignment is not coincidence. It is the precise matching of timing, preparation, opportunity, and execution. When you act aligned, resistance diminishes, clarity amplifies, and results compound exponentially. When you act misaligned, energy dissipates, obstacles multiply, and frustration accumulates. The awareness of your bloodline allows you to sense alignment instinctively, to understand that patience is often a higher form of action, and that strategic restraint is sometimes more powerful than impulsive movement. Your ancestors understood the mechanics of influence, power, and authority. And now that knowledge flows through you, guiding your steps, choices, and interactions with a precision that cannot be achieved through logic alone. Your ancestral inheritance also includes a form of spiritual resilience that is often invisible but profoundly effective. You have survived circumstances, environments, and relationships that should have broken the average person. Yet here you are, standing, breathing, and progressing. That resilience is encoded in your bloodline. It is proof that the line from which you descend has been tempered over generations to withstand storms, navigate complexities, and emerge not just intact but stronger. It is a resilience that allows you to face uncertainty with courage, to move through adversity with purpose, and to hold firm in environments where others collapse under pressure. Your lineage amplifies perception and insight. You begin to notice subtleties in behavior, patterns in circumstances, and implications in situations that remain invisible to most. That insight is not accidental. It is inherited wisdom, a form of intelligence that allows you to navigate life with strategy and awareness. It is why you may have always felt ahead of your peers, why solutions often appear to you before problems escalate, and why you instinctively sense consequences before they manifest. That sensitivity is a gift of your ancestry, designed to ensure that your actions are calculated, effective, and aligned with long-term objectives. You will also notice that your awareness of lineage changes the way you approach relationships. Not all relationships are meant to last. Not all alliances are meant to endure, and not every interaction is meant to carry significance. Understanding this allows you to invest your energy wisely. It teaches you to discern who contributes to your growth and purpose and who merely distracts or drains you. Relationships become tools for alignment and amplification rather than sources of insecurity or validation. Your ancestors prepared you to navigate this with clarity, ensuring that your influence is preserved and your energy directed toward meaningful, generative connections. As you awaken further, you will recognize that the challenges you face are often proportional to your potential. The more pressure, resistance, or opposition you encounter, the closer you are to fulfilling your purpose. Those who attempt to undermine you, misjudge you, or oppose you do so not by accident. They are markers, indicators of the level of influence and authority you are stepping into. Understanding this transforms your perspective on conflict. Conflict is no longer a source of fear or frustration. It becomes a confirmation of the growth, a test of endurance, and a signal that you are approaching the thresholds of your ancestral assignment. Your lineage also endows you with a capacity for extraordinary focus. You begin to realize that distractions, superficial pursuits, and ephemeral pleasures do not hold the same value they once did. You are naturally drawn toward depth, substance, and impact because that is what your bloodline demands. This focus is not restrictive, it is liberating. It allows you to allocate time, energy, and attention to endeavors that matter, to relationships that resonate, and to missions that fulfill the broader purpose embedded in your DNA. Spiritual insight is another gift of your lineage. You perceive truth beyond appearances, intentions beyond words, and trajectories beyond immediate perception. This insight allows you to act with discernment, navigate challenges with clarity, and influence outcomes strategically. The awareness of your ancestry sharpens intuition, enhances judgment, and ensures that your actions are not only effective, but also aligned with purpose. You will also observe that your understanding of lineage transforms the way you approach obstacles. What once seemed insurmountable now appears as a structured challenge designed to refine, strengthen, and prepare you. Adversity is no longer random, it is intentional, calibrated, and purposeful. Your ancestors have ensured that you are equipped with the skills, resilience, and discernment to navigate challenges effectively. Every setback becomes a lesson, every difficulty a teacher, and every moment of resistance an opportunity to awaken latent potential. Your connection to your bloodline enhances your capacity for leadership. True leadership is not about control, popularity, or domination. It is about resonance, influence, and strategic action. When you operate aligned with your lineage, your presence alone carries authority. People respond to you not because they are compelled, but because your alignment with ancestral wisdom, purpose, and power projects a frequency they recognize, whether consciously or unconsciously. Leadership becomes a natural expression of your identity, not a role you assume artificially. You also inherit a unique form of emotional intelligence. Your lineage equips you to perceive subtle emotional dynamics, understand unspoken motivations, and respond to circumstances with calibrated empathy and strategy. This emotional acuity allows you to navigate relationships, influence outcomes, and mediate conflicts in ways that feel instinctive yet are deeply informed by generational wisdom. Understanding your lineage also provides perspective on timing. Your ancestors have embedded in you a natural sense of when to act, when to wait, and when to prepare. This awareness prevents premature action that could dissipate energy and ensures that engagement occurs at moments of maximum impact. Timing is not accidental, it is inherited. Acting in alignment with this rhythm ensures that your efforts are amplified and your outcomes optimized. Your bloodline cultivates endurance, not only physical, but emotional, spiritual, and mental. Challenges that would overwhelm others serve to refine your resilience, deepen your insight, and fortify your purpose. Endurance is no longer a struggle. It becomes a natural expression of the preparation encoded in your DNA. It allows you to persist in the face of adversity, maintain clarity under pressure, and continue moving toward purpose even when circumstances seem unfavorable. Your ancestors have also prepared you for influence beyond your immediate perception. Your decisions, actions, and presence have ripple effects that extend far beyond your direct sphere. Understanding lineage allows you to act with foresight, recognizing that every interaction carries weight, every choice carries consequence, and every word carries potential impact. You are not acting solely for yourself. You are activating generational authority and shaping outcomes across time and space. The awareness of your lineage sharpens discernment. You learn to differentiate between true alignment and superficial opportunity, between meaningful connection and distraction, and between constructive challenge and unnecessary opposition. This discernment allows you to focus energy where it matters, navigate complexity with precision, and avoid unnecessary conflict that could dilute, influence, or obstruct purpose. Your lineage also imparts strategy, I see vision. You begin to perceive trajectories, potentialities, and outcomes that others cannot. This foresight is not mere prediction. It is ancestral intelligence, a gift embedded across generations to equip you for authority, influence, and stewardship. When aligned with purpose, this vision ensures that your decisions are precise, your actions are effective, and your impact is lasting. You will also recognize that failure is not final. Missteps, setbacks, and mistakes are part of the ancestral process of refinement. Your lineage equips you to extract lessons, convert challenges into advantage, and maintain forward momentum regardless of circumstance. Failure is a teacher, not a verdict. It is a tool of awakening, calibration, and growth, preparing you to operate with maximal effectiveness and alignment with your purpose. Your ancestors have embedded a sense of moral clarity in your bloodline. You perceive justice, integrity, and ethical alignment not as optional but as necessary elements of authority and influence. This clarity guides decision-making, shapes leadership, and ensures that your actions reinforce alignment with purpose rather than compromise it. Your sense of right and wrong is amplified, strategic, and deeply intuitive, equipping you to act with precision in complex environments. Even the way you handle opportunity is influenced by lineage. You are naturally discerning, recognizing when engagement is strategic and when restraint is necessary. This instinct prevents wasted effort, ensures focus on meaningful initiatives, and aligns action with long-term outcomes. Opportunities are not random, they are markers of alignment, and your ability to act decisively in their presence reflects the preparation of generations embedded within you. The knowledge of your lineage also transforms perspective on time. Patience is no longer passive, it is active preparation. Waiting becomes a strategic act, ensuring that action occurs at the precise moment for maximal effect. The understanding of temporal alignment allows you to navigate life with foresight, precision, and intentionality, reflecting the wisdom and timing encoded in your ancestry. Your lineage enhances spiritual resilience. Faith, hope, and perseverance are not fragile constructs, but reinforced capacities inherited across generations. Challenges that might overwhelm others serve to deepen these qualities within you, equipping you to navigate uncertainty, maintain clarity, and persist in alignment with purpose. Spiritual resilience becomes a natural extension of identity, supporting influence, leadership, and fulfillment. Even your creativity and innovation carry markers of ancestral intelligence. Ideas, solutions, and insights flow through you not as isolated inspiration, but as the activation of inherited vision, strategy, and understanding. You innovate not merely for novelty, but to fulfill purpose, resolve complexity, and activate legacy. Creativity becomes a tool of influence. Aligned with the broader objectives of your bloodline, and innovation becomes a natural expression of inherited insight. Your awareness of lineage also transforms relationships with peers and authority. You understand hierarchy, influence, and alignment, not as external impositions, but as intrinsic to the orchestration of purpose. Collaboration, mentorship, and alliance are engaged with strategic awareness, ensuring that connections amplify impact rather than dilute focus. This approach is not arrogance. It is precision. It is inherited wisdom applied to contemporary circumstances, ensuring that action and interaction are always aligned with long-term objectives. You will also notice a shift in perception of risk. Challenges that once felt overwhelming now feel navigable because you inherit the capacity to assess, strategize, and respond effectively. Your awareness of ancestral resilience and preparation equips you to move confidently where others hesitate, to act decisively when others stall, and to lead with assurance when circumstances demand guidance. Risk becomes opportunity when viewed through the lens of lineage. Your lineage also refines emotional discipline. Impulses, reactions, and emotional turbulence are tempered by inherited wisdom. You maintain composure under pressure, navigate complexity without being consumed by chaos, and respond strategically rather than reactively. Emotional discipline becomes a tool of authority, allowing you to influence outcomes and guide processes with clarity and precision. Even your sense of purpose is amplified by lineage. It is no longer abstract or aspirational. It is codified, precise, and actionable. Every thought, choice, and action becomes a vector toward the fulfillment of ancestral design. Purpose is no longer something you chase. It is a reality you embody, a mandate you carry, and a path that is illuminated by the preparation, wisdom, and authority of generations before you. The knowledge of lineage also fosters gratitude, not for circumstance alone, but for the continuity of legacy, the endurance of ancestors, and the unfolding of purpose. Gratitude becomes a lens that enhances perception, amplifies insight, and attracts alignment. It is not passive appreciation, but active recognition of inherited authority and responsibility. Your ancestors also encoded a blueprint for influence, leadership, and stewardship. Influence flows naturally from alignment, integrity, and insight. Leadership emerges as a consequence of presence, clarity, and purpose. Stewardship manifests as the responsible use of inherited authority for the benefit of present and future generations. Understanding these principles allows you to operate with precision, ensuring that every action amplifies legacy rather than diminishes it. You will also notice that your perspective on adversity changes. Obstacles, challenges, and opposition are no longer threats. They are indicators of proximity to purpose. Resistance is proportional to potential, and the intensity of challenges signals the depth of authority you are stepping into. This perspective transforms fear into confidence, frustration into strategy, and limitation into opportunity. The knowledge of lineage refines intuition. Your internal compass, previously mysterious or misunderstood, becomes a tool of precision. Decisions, insights, and responses are guided not only by experience, but by ancestral wisdom encoded in your being. Intuition becomes predictive, strategic, and aligned with purpose, enabling you to navigate complex circumstances with clarity, foresight, and authority. Your awareness of lineage also shapes understanding of legacy. Legacy is not measured in wealth, recognition, or status. It is measured in the activation of purpose, the preservation of wisdom, and the empowerment of future generations. Every choice, action, and initiative contributes to legacy, and your alignment with Ancestry ensures that legacy is realized with precision, impact, and continuity. Your bloodline equips you with strategic vision, foresight, and the ability to perceive patterns invisible to others. Opportunities, challenges, and relationships are contextualized within a broader framework of purpose, ensuring that every step taken advances both immediate and generational objectives. This strategic awareness transforms action from reaction into deliberate, high-impact execution. Endurance, discernment, and resilience become natural expressions of identity. You navigate adversity, opposition, and complexity with composure, clarity, and precision. Challenges become stepping stones. Resistance becomes proof of potential, and setbacks become opportunities for refinement. The knowledge of lineage transforms every experience into a tool of awakening, calibration, and preparation. You also inherit moral clarity. Justice, integrity, and ethical alignment are not abstract ideals, but operational principles embedded in your decisions, interactions, and influence. Moral clarity guides leadership, shapes influence, and ensures that authority is exercised responsibly, strategically, and purposefully. Your connection to Ancestry deepens awareness of timing, alignment, and opportunity. Patience is strategic, preparation is purposeful, and engagement occurs only when conditions maximize impact. Premature action is avoided, and deliberate timing ensures that influence, authority, and outcomes are optimized. The knowledge of lineage amplifies perception, insight, and intuition. Subtle dynamics, hidden motives, and potential consequences become visible. You navigate complexity, influence outcomes, and activate purpose with precision informed by generations of preparation. This awareness transforms challenges into strategy, setbacks into lessons, and resistance into confirmation of alignment. Your bloodline instills authority, resilience, and strategic insight. Presence carries weight, influence flows naturally, and decisions align with purpose. Every interaction, choice, and action activates ancestral preparation, ensuring that impact is amplified, legacy is preserved, and purpose is fulfilled. As you continue to awaken, the alignment of identity, purpose, and ancestry becomes more apparent. The integration of insight, authority, and resilience ensures that every step, decision, and influence carries amplified consequence. You operate not merely as an individual, but as a vessel of inherited power, wisdom, and responsibility, activating a legacy that transcends time, circumstance, and perception. You will begin to notice that the world responds differently to you. Resistance, opposition, and challenge arise not to diminish you, but to measure your capacity, validate your potential, and confirm your proximity to purpose. The awareness of lineage transforms these experiences into signals rather than obstacles, markers rather than threats, and calibration rather than failure. Even your perception of self transforms. Identity is no longer defined by circumstance, opinion, or external validation. It is anchored in ancestry, purpose, and alignment. The internal compass becomes calibrated, the sense of authority becomes instinctive, and the confidence in action becomes unwavering. You operate from a foundation built not in isolation, but through the endurance, preparati, on and wisdom of generations. Your lineage informs every aspect of your engagement with life, relationships, leadership, decision-making, opportunity, adversity, timing, resilience, influence, and purpose. Understanding this transforms every experience into a vector for impact, alignment, and legacy. You move with clarity, act with authority, and influence with precision. This awakening is cumulative. The more you internalize, the more your actions, perceptions, and decisions are filtered through the lens of ancestral wisdom. The more you trust lineage, the more precision, alignment, and impact manifest. Every step forward is supported by the preparation of those who walked before you, and every challenge navigated reflects the resilience embedded in your bloodline. You also inherit a unique form of influence. Influence is not imposed, it resonates. Your presence, actions, and decisions carry authority because they are aligned with ancestry, purpose, and insight. Influence becomes a natural expression of identity rather than effortful achievement. People respond unconsciously to the frequency of alignment, recognizing authenticity, authority, and purpose without fully understanding why. Your bloodline also teaches the art of preparation. Nothing is random, and every opportunity, challenge, and interaction serves a purpose. Understanding preparation ensures that action is deliberate, energy is preserved, and influence is maximized. Preparation becomes an active strategy, not a passive waiting, and ensures that your alignment with purpose is precise and effective. You will notice that your perception of challenge transforms. What once felt threatening now appears as instructional. Opposition, delay, and adversity become signals. confirming proximity to purpose and readiness for advancement. Every difficulty is a calibration tool, refining skill, fortifying resilience, and preparing for influence. Challenges become markers of potential realized rather than obstacles to avoid. Your lineage amplifies discernment, insight, and intuition. Every encounter, opportunity, and decision is filtered through inherited wisdom. You recognize authenticity, assess alignment, and navigate influence with precision. This capacity ensures that energy, focus, and effort are directed toward endeavors that amplify purpose rather than dissipate. You inherit a capacity for strategic vision. You perceive trajectories, consequences, and opportunities invisible to others. Vision becomes a tool of influence, ensuring that every action contributes to long-term objectives. Alignment with lineage ensures that vision is actionable, informed, and effective. Your bloodline reinforces endurance. Adversity, opposition, and challenge no longer overwhelm, they strengthen. Resilience is innate, composure is natural, and persistence becomes instinctive. Endurance is an operational capacity, ensuring that authority, influence, and purpose are maintained under pressure. The No. Ledge of lineage also clarifies legacy. Legacy is not fleeting recognition, but the activation of purpose across generations. Decisions, actions, and influence contribute to the continuum of impact, ensuring that authority, insight, and purpose extend beyond immediate perception. Legacy is operationalized through alignment with ancestry, purpose, and strategy. Your ancestors' embedded patterns of mastery, skill, insight, and influence are cultivated through generational preparation. Knowledge, discernment, and authority are inherited capacities, activated through alignment, intentional action, and purpose. Mastery becomes accessible because it is encoded, not merely acquired. You inherit emotional discipline. Impulse, reaction, and distraction are tempered by ancestral wisdom. Composure, clarity, and strategic response become default behaviors, ensuring that influence is maintained, authority is preserved, and purpose is fulfilled. Emotional intelligence is not learned, it is inherited and activated. Your lineage also amplifies spiritual resilience. Faith, endurance, and clarity are reinforced capacities, ensuring navigation through adversity, uncertainty, and opposition. Spiritual resilience sustains authority, guides influence, and preserves alignment with purpose. Even your creativity and problem. And so, chosen ones, the truth stands clear and undeniable. The bloodline you descend from is not merely a connection to the past. It is the blueprint for your destiny, the sour CE of your authority and the engine of your purpose. Everything you have experienced, every trial, every blessing, every moment of doubt or triumph has been shaping you, preparing you, and awakening you to the reality that you were never ordinary, never accidental, and never without assignment. To know your lineage is to reclaim your identity, to step into your power with clarity and act with the precision and authority of those who came before you. It is to understand that resistance, delay, and challenge are not setbacks, but confirmations of proximity to your purpose. As you embrace this awareness, you begin to move differently, no longer reacting to the world, but shaping it, no longer waiting for permission, but activating what has been entrusted to you, no longer uncertain of your role, but living it fully. Your influence expands naturally, your vision sharpens, your resilience strengthens, and your decisions carry weight far beyond yourself. You are a living continuation of a lineage that refuses mediocrity, demands awakening, and commands alignment with divine purpose. Carry this truth daily. Let it guide your steps, steady your heart, and ignite your actions. Let it remind you that you are not just walking through life. You are walking with the power, wisdom, and legacy of generations embedded within you. The world may not always recognize it, others may not always understand it, but the line you carry, the blood you bear, and the purpose you fulfill are undeniable. Stand firm, move with clarity, act with authority, and never forget that you are a chosen one, descended from greatness, destined for impact, and aligned with a calling that transcends time, circumstance, and limitation. Your awakening is now. Your purpose is alive. Your lineage is your power. Step into it fully, for the world awaits the force that only you can release.